Tell me
Now.
when to hit record.
Live record.
Record. Recording. Start
Recording
talking.
a show about nothing. Just like Jerry Seinfeld
Please play the fucking intro
from
again.
1998. Oh, sorry. Oh,
I'm
nobody
just
do
gonna do
that.
it.
Wow.
Hi.
Your problem is patience.
Are you gonna play
That
one of
would
these?
be immoral.
No.
You were.
I was just looking to see what we had. I couldn't remember.
Oh,
There's a few things in there, but not much.
I apologize, Dick. You know, me and you have a close bond, and in fact,
I swallowed your cum.
oh,
Yeah.
God.
And it wasn't that bad because I eat a lot of vegetables and fruit.
Pineapple.
Not a pineapple. Well, actually, no, it's out of season, so I don't really get that.
I remember once I tweeted, it's weird that pineapple makes your semen taste sweet or taste great, but it doesn't work. Or semen makes pineapple taste awful. I think that's what it was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
One of my friends, gay friends, comedians, was like, "I disagree." It's like, touche.
Oh, there you
And
go.
I have very different thoughts on semen.
We have different tastes in generally everything.
So, Dick, we're discussing our top TV shows. We haven't quite settled on a number. How many are we doing here?
Well, I said 5 because I'll pick the ones that you won't pick. So I think we'll have a good 10 number there. Good
Okay.
round number. Because I'm sure we're going to pick, you'll pick the Twilight Zone probably. And I won't. Well, if you didn't, I would.
Can we do our honorable mentions?
We do a
first?
show.
Because I have my list here.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do that. You do your honorable mentions. We'll go from there.
I quickly created a list before. I'll go from bottom to top to number 6, I guess.
All right.
Reno
Just like
911.
your gay friend.
Yes.
No, that's a good show.
South Park.
That's a good show.
Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, well, that's a mini series. Does that count as a series?
It's a series. It's a TV
I don't know.
show.
I think mini series and television show are kind of separate. I don't know.
I don't consider that it's a closed TV show. It's not a mini series. Like Stephen King's The Stand is a mini series.
Yeah.
Honey
Yeah,
Hill
but
House is a season of a show.
Yeah, but Honey Hill House was 8 episodes or 10 episodes?
10 episodes.
I think it was 10 episodes.
Well, it made my list. Fuck you. Next is Roseanne.
Okay. I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah. Then I'm going to go with It's Gary Shandling Show.
Okay.
Titus.
All right.
The Wire.
Yes.
Archer.
Okay.
The next one's going to surprise you. The Simpsons.
Of course. That's a runners up. Wow.
The Office.
That's always in my top 5. Yeah.
The Office. And then Breaking Bad would be my number 6.
Wow. Didn't quite make the top 5.
I kept wanting to do it, but I'm like, I think of rewatchability, and it is a better show than the ones on my top 5, but I'm not it's a personal preference, not so much what I think the best TV shows are.
I would say Breaking Bad didn't get good until after season 2.
I disagree with that.
I don't know. I feel like it got better but
it didn't get good at season 2.
Well, I don't know.
It took on a new life. It definitely elevated itself. But
yeah,
I loved it from moment 1.
Moment 1. It took me a while to get into it. That's why I never watched it until it was.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Last season. Yeah, it took me a while to get into it.
But I was into it I started. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Right away. I was like, I started watching it was on the air. The Wire I watched after it was on the air, but that was another one where I'm like, okay, I'm fucking. What is this? What is happening here?
Well, there's a show that you didn't watch until 20 years later because of one specific character that drove you insane for many, many years, and you didn't realize she didn't make it past season 2, episode 2.
She made it too long
because she was dead. She was so dead they had to make her a floating head on another body.
Oh
with
god, that was creepy.
CGI.
Anyway,
Yeah, they had no choice there.
so let's get into our top 5 then, right?
Okay.
It was your idea, so do you want to go second?
Well, okay, I'll start off at my number 5.
Oh, do you want to go first? Okay.
I'll go first. I'll say
Whatever.
my number 5 because I'm pretty much sure that it would be my number 5 show, and that would be Star Trek. I think Star Trek in general, because Deep Space Nine, the original series, the Next Generation, even though Next Generation, the first season sucks.
Yeah.
The second
Part
season's
of
not very
season
good.
2. Yeah.
Season 3 through 7 are actually pretty decent, but then even the last season kind of doesn't go anywhere because it's an ending, and they were focusing more on the movies. So just like, yeah, fuck the show, let's get to the movies.
Yeah. That's the only reason The Simpsons isn't in my top 5 is because I think of it as a whole. If you just go seasons 3 through 9, let's say, or 10,
right,
it's going to be higher up. But as a whole of 30, whatever the fuck years, drops down a lot.
Oh yeah, and I would say DS9 is probably my favorite Star Trek show because that's what I kind of grew up with. I grew up with that one more than Next Generation, so I was there from day one to the end of it, and I always watched it. So I was like, okay. Next Generation I didn't discover until like the 4th, the 5th season, maybe the 6th season, because I was late to the party on that. I didn't really watch it. Well, because it was always on syndication, so I never knew what time and when it was on because it always changed. And then once DS9 was on, I was able to follow it where it was like, okay, every Sunday night DS9 was on. So I was like, okay, now I know where to go and it's here. So that's kind of its schedule for the next 7 years.
See, Next Generation would be on my. It should be on that list there, the runner-up list.
Yeah,
it almost was, but I just was in a hurry. But yeah, it should be on there because I like that better than I don't know some of these other shows on my list. But
well, I figured
Deep Space Nine, I don't know much about, honestly.
Yeah. I just like I said, DS9 basically all the
is that Janeway?
No, that's Voyager. I don't watch. I watched the first season of Voyager and I jumped ship. I was like, fuck this. Yeah. I can't do Voyager. Too many ethnics.
Even though Deep Space Nine has the ethnic leader.
That's the black captain. Yeah, exactly. That's my captain, Cisco.
I like Cisco.
Absolutely. No, Avery Brooks is awesome. And he's like, it's kind of a weird guy, but he's like really passionate. But my friend has seen him more in conventions than I ever did. Because I've been to one Star Trek convention my whole life. And it was back in like 1994. That was a long time ago.
Generations.
No, I'm sorry. I take that back. It was 1997 because we got Dark City mouse pads. That's how old that was we got mouse pads. They were Dark City mouse pads. Which would have kept it. I think I got rid of it. Damn. It was cool. Nobody knew what Dark City was. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, whatever. It's one of the best movies ever made. But so DS9 is, I think they graduated with DS9 and they could do the things they couldn't do in Next Generation because Roddenberry stifled a lot of the writers. So all the best writers from Next Generation went on to DS9 and they really delivered. And like, not all of them are great, but most of them are. And they have the Dominion story arc and they have but a lot of people try to say, oh, Babylon 5 is the better show because it's a ripoff of Babylon 5, basically, but they both came out at the same time, so it's kind of hard to say who stole whose idea. But I can understand people's hatred for DS9 over Babylon 5, because Babylon 5 is good. It is good. Babylon 5 is
I've never seen a second, other than like when Star Trek Next Generation would end, it would come on Sci-Fi Network next. That's all
TNT presents Babylon 5.
One of those things.
Babylon 5 is actually... It's pretty good. I would say it's close. Like Star Trek and Babylon 5 could tie for me. It could be both the number 5. And I know that's kind of like a cheating thing, but I don't fucking care. It's my list.
You already said DS9. DS9 is your number 5.
It's fine. Babylon 5 at number 5.
I have seen DS9, but not enough to really know it.
It's very good.
I grew up on the original series and Next Generation because my dad was in the Star Trek.
That's why.
That's really one of the few things that carried over from him to me.
I was gonna say that's why you hate it. You hate it so much because of your father.
No, that's why I don't like Star Wars for the longest time. You remember when I met you?
Oh,
I didn't give a shit about Star Wars because I never really. I watched them like at my cousin's house, and I was always like, "Fuck it!" Like I knew it, like the way you know things that are in the zeitgeist sort of thing.
Right.
And I seen them, but I wasn't familiar and I didn't really give a shit.
Right.
I still don't really give a shit, but I don't hate them. I like them. I'll never have that fandom, especially now because you see where it went, but I don't hold the new movies against the original ones, but
right, yeah.
Because if you did, you would feel that way about Star Trek and the Next Generation, because those movies are
terrible.
Just something.
They're garbage. Yeah,
I'm not a guy that hates Generations either. I actually really like Generations.
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, I have no real opinion on any of them.
I like First Contact.
Yeah.
Zephyr Cochrane is great.
Insurrection is your favorite Star Trek film.
Insurrection is boring, but as an adult, I just rewatched it again and I was like, not that bad.
Oh my god. No, it's not that bad.
I kind of liked it.
It's one of the better ones. It's more like an episode.
It might be my favorite one.
It's the
most, as an adult.
Most like an episode of a Star Trek Next Generation.
Yes, that's why it's the same reason that Star Trek Beyond is the best of the new Star Trek movies, because it's like an episode of the original series.
Yeah.
Even though most audience would say it's boring, but that's why it's good.
No, that one's pretty action packed. I think Star Trek Beyond's good. Starting in the Darkness is garbage. I hate Star Trek in the Darkness. That's awful. That one is so bad. It is so bad. Just garbage. What would be your fifth show?
My number 5. Thank you for moving the show along. My number 5, speaking of Star Trek, the original series, is Futurama.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
Clearly, I use it for the Twilight Zone show that we do, the intros.
You're Hitler!
I don't have to research Futurama stuff. I just know where it is, because when we lived in LA and we moved there, I would fall asleep every single night to the Futurama DVDs. Every single night, I would put them on. It was like my calm, my comfort, and I would just drift to sleep and wake up to the same. Back when DVDs had that same little menu that would.
Yeah.
Dung,
dung, dung, dung, dung, dung, dung, dung, dung.
Since the moment it debuted, that show, I've been watching it. The last couple seasons, I've only seen once, because they're not as funny. They're bringing it back.
The last couple seasons, weren't they the movies just broken up into segments?
No, they did that, and then they came back. They keep getting canceled. They got canceled originally on Fox. They brought it back and kept it going. They got canceled, and they brought back some movies, the 4 movies. Got canceled.
Yeah.
Not canceled again. They were on. They came back again on Comedy Central, and they got canceled. And now they went to a radio show. It was actually pretty good. The podcast radio show they did. And now they're coming back to Hulu. I don't know how long they're going to be on for, but it just won't die.
Just let it go. It's like, this is like, you gotta wait till one of them's dead before you can stop doing the show.
A little soap fry.
Hi, Fry.
The robot devil.
That's right. Yeah. Kiss my shiny metal ass.
I don't have Bender. No Bender. I can find him.
Yeah.
When I bought these.
He's so popular.
Let's got my 3.
Yeah, I don't have any. I need to get Futurama.
I got my Adam West from The Simpsons.
Nice. That's a good one. That's fantastic.
Yeah. What is your number? Oh, what are your thoughts on Futurama overall? Do you give
I enjoy it. I loved it. I didn't watch it as regularly because I don't know why. I think by the time Futurama came on, I was kind of halfway out the door with Simpsons, because I was I wasn't home because I was moving. I was either doing other stuff at that time. So I couldn't really focus on television. It's too bad DVR didn't exist when I was growing up, because I would have taped all these shows and would have been ahead of the game. Well, now I can watch it. I just don't.
Yeah,
but I should. I like most of them. So Scruffy.
It is
Scruffy. Scruffy believes in this company.
Yeah, Scruffy is my favorite character from Futurama.
Scruffy's pretty good.
Scruffy believes in this company.
Dr. Zoidberg. Oh, Zoidberg gets annoying a little bit because he's too vaudevillian. It's like,
but they play
they're really pushing that vaudeville Jew era character from he's a vaudeville actor from 1922.
Well, there's an episode later on where his uncle is Harold Zoidberg.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Harold Zoidberg, famous. It's just funny, but
yeah, it's just I definitely understand getting frustrated with some characters, but when you watch a series, those minor little annoyances. There's one later on my list that people hate a character, and I get it, but you don't really focus on them. You just kind of ignore them for a second. Like, oh, all right, we're back.
Well, then they also did the one of the best episodes I think of half-hour show ever was the dog episode.
Yeah,
that's a pretty damn good episode.
There's 2 episodes that genuinely make me cry.
No,
the dog one, and then Luck of the Fryrish, where Phil, Fry, his brother, is like stealing his personality, and he ends up. There's a whole series of events, but he ends up being he named his son after Philip. And that's that, and it's fucking that one got me like that. I was like, oh, you sons of bitches.
Oh wow, yeah,
and it's like this really sweet moment.
Because how many seasons of Futurama are there?
It's one of those shows where different places have different season counts because it was broken up so many times that it's really hard to say. Like 7, I guess, is kind of like the average.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
There's like 4 original box sets, and I think that's 5 seasons.
Yes.
And then they brought it back for 3
movies.
2. And they count the movies as a season as well. So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's really broken up at some point.
Because I remember watching Bender's game, and I enjoyed it. I thought they were pretty funny. I liked them. I thought they were funny.
Yeah.
I did. Calculon's back.
Yeah.
That's a good one. There's a lot of good a lot of lines that you could play with. You can quote, and people know what it was.
And I love the fact that it's a nerdy show. Like there's a ton of science and math jokes hidden in the background of that show that people just don't realize. There's different alien languages because people keep cracking them, and they have to keep coming up with a new one.
Isn't the big guy that pushed that show that was David X. Cohen?
Yeah, David X. Cohen.
Who the guy is? He's kind of like the brain of Futurama, and Matt Groening tries to pretend to be the brain, but he's not.
Matt Groening came up with the idea and the animation style, and then that's the end. I like Matt Groening. Don't get me wrong, but it's David X. Cohen show through and through.
I don't.
And
Matt Groening, I lost all respect for him when I found out what he did.
Don't get into that.
Epstein. Oh no, it's not alleged. Sorry. There's pictures. Epstein, 15-year-old foot massage on the plane. Sorry. See you later. Do not pass go. You fucking
So, what's your number 4?
Oh shit. I'm gonna be controversial. I think it's gonna
Epstein. Oh.
Honestly, I would say Larry Sanders. 1993 to 1998 or 92 to 98. A show all about Hollywood, and it's one of the greatest shows ever. But it's so of the 90s that I don't think anybody could watch that show today and understand what's going on. There is an episode where Hank Kingsley is essentially raping his assistant, and they kind of play it off like, honey, he's going through a divorce. That's not Hank. That's a monster. He's supposed to put his dick in anything that moves. And it's like, oh my God. And he's like, he has a string of, he just fucks whores for like the whole episode. And he ends up fucking a 65-year-old whore who that's what her job is. They even Rip Torn knows who she is. Like, how are the kids? Oh, they're good, sweetie. Thank you for asking. He just retired. It's just like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
It's not a show you could just pick up and watch unless you know the era.
Oh yeah.
But it did almost make my list.
It's a time capsule.
I put it's Gary Shandling's show on there instead because I'm more familiar with that show.
Right.
Because I've watched it more recently. But Larry Sanders is definitely. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it. I keep putting that off, but it will definitely make my top 10. I know that. I just have to watch it again. It's been so long since I've seen it.
And a lot of the actors. I mean, it's kind of amazing how many people are dead that show up on that show. I mean, almost all the guest stars are dead. All these old comedians.
Hank's not.
Hank, well, his career's dead. Either their career's dead or
Jeffrey Tambor's career's dead. Yeah,
Jeffrey Tambor's career deader than dog shit.
I mean, he won a bunch of fucking Emmys and then he's dead.
Yeah, I mean that was it. He touched somebody's boobie or something. They Me Too'd his ass, and he thought he was ahead of the game with the transgender thing, but they fucking didn't matter. He was out. He was gone.
You didn't write that shit.
Because remember, he was transparent, and then no more. Then he was opaque because they got rid of him. He disappeared. So he's gone. But yeah, that show, probably one of the best shows ever written. Hilarious show. Great
Quick
writers.
premise.
Gary Shandling's a genius. Yeah.
Gary Shandling on the show plays Larry Sanders. The names are supposed to be confusingly similar. He's basically a late night show host, and it's kind of like the background of the show, the making of it, and then you see like the footage of them, doing the show, and it's really just that. It's like a 30 Rock. 30 Rock is a good example of that kind of show.
Yeah.
You're gonna see both.
Yeah.
30 Rock is definitely inspired by Larry Sanders.
Oh yeah, but what makes Larry Sanders better is you can say "fuck," and they use that word quite a bit, and it's wonderful. It's so great.
The reason why I
that's
like
my number
It's
4.
Gary Shandling show. The reason why I like It's Gary Shandling show more is because it has those super meta jokes. Because it'll be that you'll be watching him have a conversation with someone, and it just pulls back, and Larry will come out, or Gary will come out and get in a golf cart and drive over to the next set while talking to the audience. Like, I'm gonna head over to my mother's house, and then pull up and be like, "Hey, mom," and it just keeps going. It's the fucking best. I love that show. That's
a lot of the actors from Gary Shandling show up on Larry Sanders. Almost all of them, so they all cross over, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
because the sidekick.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, because Gary Shandling show, his sidekick, that actor, the balding guy, he's on Larry Sanders show, and he plays 2 different parts in like different seasons. So he plays his manager, his financial manager in one episode, which he basically embezzles all this money from him and almost breaks Larry Sanders. And then one of the episodes he plays the cue card guy, Sid. He plays his brother, and basically saying, "Oh yeah, Sid committed suicide." I said, and Hank Kingsley feels guilty because the night before he committed suicide, Hank Kingsley made fun of him, and he goes, "Yeah, you always said that you gave him a hard time." What? No, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, he said that you were an asshole to him, and you just were just the worst person. No, I'm gonna pay for his funeral. And he decides to pay for his funeral, and he finds out he didn't kill himself. His girlfriend left him, and that's why he died.
You know why I can't watch Seinfeld anymore? Is because I went down a rabbit hole a while ago rewatching Gary Shandling show and Larry Sanders, and now I'm like, oh, it's just before Seinfeld, but Seinfeld got way more out of it than Gary Shandling did out at all.
Well,
and it's so unfortunate.
The same time as it's the same era.
Well, Gary Shandling show was before.
No, but Larry Sanders is basically the exact same time as Seinfeld, because Seinfeld stopped in 1998 as well as Sanders. 1998. Can you believe that shit? 1998 is when these shows were off the air, and people still talk about them now.
Well, we'll talk about one here in a moment that was ended in 98 as well.
Oh, what?
We'll talk about that later. But
I would just say
if you're in the Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, definitely check out Gary Shandling show and Larry Sanders.
Absolutely.
Both fucking perfection.
Yes.
My number 4 is The Twilight Zone.
Okay, we have a whole show dedicated to that. We have an entire anthology series dedicated to that.
Yeah, we're 400.
We don't need to talk about that.
5 episodes deep now. We don't need to discuss it anymore.
Yeah.
The original
that's
series.
why I didn't. I would put on my list as well, and in fact, I'll do that. I'll say that's my number 3.
Okay,
it's Twilight Zone because it just is
in general. Because it is. I mean, no other show compares.
It really is in a world of its own.
As
far as longevity and relevance.
Oh yeah, and you can rewatch those episodes multiple times. Yeah. Don't treat me like I'm a retarded child.
Oh god, do we have clips from it? Oh my!
Not here. I don't think we do.
Oh, we got one. I got one from the original series.
What's going on here? Where are we? What are we? Who are we?
That's
The worst clip.
It's a classic.
Here's the remake from 2002 that has a much better clip with Mrs. David Cross.
I have a sunflower on my ass if you're interested.
That's right.
Again, we're 405 episodes deep into our Twilight Zone. We're done.
In her ass.
Oh, I gotta say my number 3 now, don't I?
Yes, please.
My number 3 is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh wow, okay. I thought it would. Yeah, okay, yeah.
What? No, finish.
I'm just surprised it's that high. I thought it'd be like number 8 on your list, maybe.
Oh no, this show's my jam.
Okay,
I put it off for so long, and then around like season 4 or 5, I finally started watching it.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was there. I saw it when it first came out. The first couple of seasons, I enjoyed it, and I just haven't watched it since.
Because I liked other shows that were similar to that. Like I watched The League, and I loved it. The League is a little kind of a shallow version of It's Always Sunny. Like the characters aren't that deep, the writing's not that deep. It is a good show, and then I went to a friend's house, and he put on the DVD because I said I was interested, and he's like, "Fuck it," and just put it on. I'm like, "Okay, fine." And it was an episode where they're traveling to the Grand Canyon, and they have a like a U-Haul type thing, and they prop up the back, and they're grilling in the back, and then the little grill legs fall, and the grill goes out the back, and I'm like, that was the joke. For some reason, like I'm like, "Yep, I'm on board."
Yeah.
And the only reason I stuck with it, or even I wanted to watch more, is because I watched Caitlin Olsen. And I go, she's really fucking funny. I thought she was just there as the woman, but she is legitimately funny. And I'm like, all right, I'll watch the show now.
Yeah.
Because the problem, like Those Who Can't is a show on True TV that's similar to The League, and It's Always Sunny. But I like the girl that's on there, but she's just there as the girl. So that's what I was expecting. And she's really funny. And I definitely, it's been on the air for so fucking long now. I can't even remember life before.
Yeah, it has been.
It's on like season 17. I still haven't watched the last season that came out. Yeah. It was a really like tearjerker episode where they go to London or Ireland. I still haven't watched it at all yet, but
when did Danny DeVito get back on that show? Because that had to be in kind of mid-run, right? Or was that like right away?
No, season 2.
Was that season 2? Okay.
Yeah, he shows up, and then him and Charlie get hit by cars. They pretend to be crippled to get in the strip club.
Right. Yeah.
Danny DeVito getting on that show is the best fucking thing they could have done. And it was totally we need eyes on this show. Here you go. Here's Danny DeVito. Yeah. And it fucking worked.
Well, I think he liked the show, though. Danny DeVito, I think, went to them and said, "Hey, I want to work on your show."
They said they're looking for someone. Danny DeVito's interested. And they're like, "Oh, yeah. No question. Yeah, clearly. That'd be great." And it was like a match made in heaven because he's perfect for the show. Show's perfect for him. He's willing to do what the fuck ever. He doesn't care. He's not an actor who has any sort of hubris. And he just shows up like there's an episode where he's naked in the couch and squeezes out. And he's completely nude all the time.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh my God. You're like, oh. He's all covered in Vaseline. Oh my God, it's disgusting. But it's so fucking funny. And
I think my personal life got in the way of that show because we had a friend that worked on that show for like for most of the, I don't even know if he still works on it. I think he did for about a good 10 seasons, and he just wouldn't shut the fuck up about working on it. Like he just was like annoying because he wasn't like anything special.
Was he praising it though?
Operator. No, he loved the show, but it was he just kept talking about it, how great it was, and it was like it was like it felt like he was showing off and shoving it in our faces. All of us were not successful at all, and he was the only one making real money. So we always kind of resented him for that. So I think it's more or less a personal thing that we just didn't like him, and he didn't have any he didn't really have any tact as a person, and that wasn't his fault. Because that's who he was.
Don't hold the show. Yeah,
he's the kind of guy that would say things like, "I'm going to buy a car with my money, but I'm going to buy something that's not embarrassing like your truck." Like he would say things like that, and you're just like,
"Oh, fun!
Why would you say that like that?" It's like, what does that even mean?
My truck is actually worth like $30,000. What are you talking about? It's not like this is a cheap thing, you idiot. It's a Chevrolet Silverado. They're kind of high end, you idiot. And he just like didn't have any. He was a pothead stoner. His lung collapsed one time, and I remember his girlfriend called us when we were at lunch, and she goes, "I'm calling the ambulance. You gotta get an ambulance. He's not breathing." And you're like, "I'm gonna finish this macaroni and cheese, and we're gonna go." And that's kind of how we treated it.
Wouldn't she call the? Okay, there seems like a middleman here that doesn't need to be there.
She did. I think she called first, then she called us, and we're just like, okay, I mean, what are we gonna do about it? And but the reality was, I didn't care. I was like, whatever. He wasn't an endearing person. I felt bad for the guy because things happened later. He's still successful. He's very successful, so good for him.
It's kind of the same reason I didn't watch. Very different. Okay, how do I say this tactfully? Because I don't want to be like your friend.
Don't.
Part of the reason I didn't watch Workaholics is because we know Kyle Newacek. And I was like, son of a bitch. Good for him. Can't watch it. Yeah. Can't watch that show.
I can't either because it's like what could have been. Yeah. If only we got to know him.
It's like I begrudge the man nothing. God
if only we knew him more than Michael, Remco, Cesar, and Perry. I give them all up in a second.
Yeah, here you are doing free podcast for me for no pay.
Yep. And he's a multimillionaire, Emmy Award winning.
Working with Adam Sandler
on Netflix movie, making big money and having a nice life.
But that's why I couldn't watch that show. And it wasn't jealousy because I'm really not.
No.
It's like, God bless him. But it's hard for me to watch that and be like, all right, well,
He was a good guy. He was a nice guy. So I had no problems with it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Great guy.
Really nice guy. Yeah. So I'm glad, have someone succeed at that place.
That's right.
So good for him. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm kind of happy that he did have a success.
It's just a weird feeling.
Well, and he's not the only person that I knew that was successful in Hollywood. Yeah. I'm like, I like it's weird because you stay there long enough, you eventually rub elbows with people that make it and like do well, and you're just like, God damn it!
And a lot of times they're like little flashes in the pan and they're gone.
Usually that's what it is, though. The flashes of the pan are gone.
Yeah. You know people that keep working and they don't really get that far, but you're like, good job, man. Like that's awesome.
And I know guys that came this close. I know guys that came that close. The guys that were like never made it, but they didn't try. I know guys like that. I know guys that did try, didn't make it. Just that's the way it is.
Well, that's part of the reason I left. I'm like, you know what? This is like it's like fighting a brick wall.
Yeah, you're not going to get in. Yeah,
because eventually you meet someone that gives you a ladder to get over it. But most of the time, you're just going to keep fighting that wall, and the little bricks fall out every once in a while. You're like, oh, I see through the. Oh, I'll get the. Yeah. No, you're not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'd rather go do my own thing than deal with that shit.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to really get far, you have to sacrifice your morals, your sanity, and your asshole. If you really
that's what I say. Like, I'm not jealous of him, and I'm like really proud of him, even though I haven't talked to him since school. But I'm like, I didn't want to do that, and kudos to him for fucking dealing with that and then pushing the way through the system because I did not have like the fortitude to deal with that shit.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't. But anyway, that's my number 3. What's your number 2? Number 3 was Until It's Sunny, not Workaholics. Sorry.
Number 2 is Workaholics. Oddly enough, no,
number 2 is. Let me see. What did I write down here?
Oh God, we're going to a handwritten list on a novel. What is that?
Oh, it's the Moleskine.
I rewrote the Bible with my numbers.
One of those. It's my 7 journals.
I saw a man on the subway today.
He vomited all over him. I couldn't take his banality. Okay, I'm going to say this.
Laughed hysterically. Okay.
Game of Thrones, seasons 1 through 6.
All right, I'm doing the show by myself now. Game of Thrones is not a valid. Okay, sorry.
No, 1 through 6. That was the best. I'm telling you, those shows, that series was amazing. That was the worldwide phenomenon for a reason. From 1 through 6, the last 2 seasons ruined everything, and you can't even talk about it anymore. But there's so much, I'm sorry. No, my number 2 is The Simpsons. I forgot. Yeah, The Simpsons is my number 2.
The way you make lists is insanity. So I guess my other number 2 will drop out of the list. It makes no sense.
So are you doing The Simpsons as number 2?
No, my Simpsons didn't make my top 5.
That's right. Yeah, that's okay. That's what I mean. Okay, yeah. But I'm just bringing.
All right,
Game
so
of
you're
Thrones
doing a
up
top
as
6, and number 2 is shared with.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. Yeah, because I can't look at something separately. If I like it enough, I will just put it all together.
I'll show my
because
little
it's equally
figurine now.
Good. So yeah,
Got
but
my
yeah,
Adam
Game
West.
of Thrones was. Oh, there you go. Oh, look at that.
I do love this thing. I bought it for like $1.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Did I need plastic to cover my physique?
He looks like Elon Musk.
I own Twitter.
The reason I got him, everyone's so excited because I have a bunch of Adam West bobbleheads. So I put him next to the Adam West Batman bobbleheads.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I was like, this is perfect.
Well, how many bobbleheads could there be of Adam West, though?
We got 2, not a bunch, but I have all my Batmans in a row.
Yes.
Because I got one from each phase.
There's a Batman with his regular outfit, Batman with his swim trunks on, with his surfboard, probably.
Batman and
and
I have my
cartoon.
I have the Cesar Romero. I'll show you this. These are 2 of my favorite toys. Oh, get ready.
Toy Hour. Gonna see his toys off the shelf. These are all 66 Batman figures.
This
Riddler. Oh, that's actually that's Riddler. That's like DC Direct Riddler. That's a good one.
Yeah, I fucking love this one. This is my favorite one.
A good one.
My second favorite though. I'm missing the surfboard. I have it. It's just not with him right now. Cesar Romero and the surfing.
Yeah,
got a little cape on.
Yeah, his tails on his coat. You want to know? You paid for it. The suit wasn't cheap. You want to know? You bought it.
There we go. So that's but yeah, it's Simpsons. Let's talk about Simpsons first, I guess, because it's.
I'm sorry. My number 2 show was Batman, the 1966 season.
I almost put that on my list because I grew up on that show.
I would say Batman the Animated Series, yes.
Yeah.
Would be on the top 5 for sure, yeah.
On my actual top 25 that I pulled this list from,
yeah,
Batman Animated Series is on there. It's
for sure.
Like 22 or 21, whatever. But
I would even put that in probably my top 10, yeah.
Simpsons. It's the Simpsons. What else can you say about it? It's just went on too long. Everyone knows that. But it has a trillion quotable tidbits that we use on our show all the time. So much so that we have so many, like, look.
Let's see, so many letters to choose from. I'll pick why. What the heck are you doing over there? Yeah. There, you found the floor. Why?
My favorite episode.
We could pad this whole episode with just these clips.
I don't want to look like a weirdo. I'll just go with a moo-moo.
And then
First thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to punch Lenny in the back of the head.
Don't know why it's my favorite joke, but it is.
But this one, I love this one. I've always loved this one.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
We could play clips all day.
Oh my god,
Simpsons.
It's just so good. I remember seeing that live when it first came out. I couldn't stop laughing. And I think I put a VHS tape in the VCR and recorded it.
I remember when there's like controversy with parents, like, don't want your kids watch this, and I'm like, why? My parents didn't give a fuck. They weren't even there. And I was
mine either. Mine liked it,
but
I remember watching it as a family.
Didn't let them watch it.
That's nuts. Yeah, that's crazy.
Why? It's so tame.
I have a vivid memory of 2 things with the 90s Simpsons
when it first came out. Was a segment on news. I think it might have been Inside Edition or one of the news hours where the reporter was going to have an interview with Bart Simpson, but it was a cardboard cutout on a skateboard. And he knocked down the guy trying to do the interview because Bart Simpson was like a punk. So they made it look like the interviewer got hit with a rock and he fell down, and Bart
Wow.
Simpson drove. It was so ridiculous.
Oh, Bardo was here.
Yeah. It's just like, what is this? This is a joke, right?
Yeah. The Simpsons, even during its heyday when it was really solid, they focused way too much attention on how cool Bart is.
Right.
And then they went, oh,
We have
Homer's
lots
the
of
actual
characters.
star of
Yeah.
the show.
And then we have thousands of all these characters. Yeah, it's nuts.
Made a very abrupt changeover, and they stopped doing all the marketing because it was always like, steal my Butterfinger, man, like that, and he's everywhere, and he's eat my shorts thing, and the fucking the Attitude Era, and that was such a flash that it was like, all right, we got to move on. And they realized Homer's the actual funny character, and they put all the humor around him, and that's when the show really elevated. Because all my favorite episodes are Homer doing stuff.
Yeah, they released an album, for God's sakes, back in the 90s, the first like
couple
2
of them.
seasons. Yeah, well, as the time went on, they did more, but I remember that first one. Do the Bartman,
the red
Do the
cover, and Bart.
Bartman. Yeah.
And then they had that 10 songs from Springfield or something
like that.
Yeah.
They have since had more, but that was the first one, and that was like the big, like, wow, the show is so big that it has an album.
Yep,
that's so nuts.
I had them all.
Yeah, I did too. I still have it.
I still have the Simpsons books I had too. There's one that every episode was in there, and it would tell you the guest star, and I still have that.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that's a nice reference guide to have.
Yeah, it was like the first 7 seasons, I want to say.
Yeah,
around there. Whatever they made that
the
book.
best ones. Yeah.
And then they made the sequel book. But
yeah, it's insane how long that.
You're never going to get that show. You're never going to get a show that big again for what it was.
No. Those days are over. Unless everything goes to shit and we forget about it and it starts all over again, maybe. But that's 100 years from now. Who knows what will happen? But I'm sure that'll be the case.
If you didn't start your show in the 90s, your cartoon, because you got Family Guy, Futurama, and like South Park and all those, and those are all massive hits and they're still going.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, it's just like nobody's gonna care that much because it's like, oh, it was on a season and a half. Okay,
right.
Don't care.
Well, and they have streaming. Streaming is a whole new way of watching anything, so it's not the same world. So it is what it is. What's your number one?
Number 2?
Or number 2?
My number 2 is another cartoon called American Dad.
Wow, that high. Holy shit.
You have no idea.
You love that
show.
You love that show.
I love that fucking show.
How come we don't have any American Dad clips?
Because you don't know them. That's why I don't.
That's fine. I'll watch them.
I could do it. It's the problem with American Dad is I have like an encyclopedic knowledge of it at this point. At least the first, 12, 13, 14 years of it. After that, it's kind of the last few seasons I watched once or twice. But I could tell you, I was number one on American Dad trivia on Facebook when it was going live for years. And then they got rid of the trivia thing.
Oh, shit.
And I was like number 5 for Futurama. But American Dad, I'm like the only one I know that watches that show as much as I do and love it. It's a perfect sense of humor. People think it's Family Guy, which is the only thing I hate about the reputation it has because Seth MacFarlane created it. Seth MacFarlane has nothing to do with the show. He's like groaning with Futurama. He helped get his name attached and get the show greenlit, and after that, he's kind of off of it. That's the same thing with Seth MacFarlane and American Dad. It's got its whole sense of humor. It's got the mean-spirited jokes that I love, the self-deprecating jokes. It's got every character is a piece of shit, which is why I love It's Always Sunny and American Dad. They're all pieces of shit, and they all blame each other for their downfalls. And that's my sense of humor, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen. I think I've seen half an episode of American Dad.
Oh, yeah. It's a solid fucking episode.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was pretty funny. I've seen clips. It's quite good.
Yeah,
I just never got into it. I think by that point I was already I was already not watching anything television anymore anyway, so I was like kind of done with it.
Well, I watched that when we were in LA.
Yeah,
it was on after the Eagles and Patriots Super Bowl.
Wow.
And I sat at my friend's house. It was some girl I met on whatever, online thing. And I hung out with our friends and we watched the game and I was like, all right, shut the fuck up. I want to see this show now.
Get out.
Like from the second it aired, I was like, all right, this is my show.
It's not
Like,
your house. Shut up.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know whose house that was or where the fuck we were. I have no idea. That's most of LA. Whenever I went outside, you guys, I was like, I would just hang out with random people all over the valley.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I remember that.
It was. I don't know what the fuck was happening.
Is that how you found your roommate when you lived in like North Korea town or whatever it was?
No, that was
way down
That
there.
was Craigslist, honestly.
Okay.
I have been for a while. It's just what I'm up for, whatever. Like for the most part, having kids is different now, and I'm gonna have to kind of, be careful.
Well, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah,
you can't go Craigslist and jump around anymore.
Yeah, you can't hang out with the Russians off.
No, you can't do that.
They did, then it'd be at a Coke party, and I'm like, what is happening?
What's up, bro?
Yeah. No, it was all a Russian. It was a Russian woman, and I was like, I don't like you, but let's see where this night goes. Like, I wasn't into her. I was like, what is happening? I didn't give a shit about women at that point.
I take you to my place.
I was like, I want to have a weird night, and it was like a Russian. It was so fucking weird. Like, it was we went over to some guy's house, and it was just like sitting there, like, doing. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, and I'm like, whose house is this? I just walked through like, I think 3 kitchens to get here, and I go into the room, and it's just a guy playing a little weird instrument on the floor, and he never spoke to us the whole night. And then other friends came over, and I'm like, I have no idea what's happening, and this is glorious.
Wow. I remember the hookah lounge craze of the early aughts.
Yeah.
When hookah was everywhere. And I remember going to different lounges and having hookah with people. And it's now they're all gone. None of them exist anymore. They're all out of business. All of them are gone because no one wants to smoke anything. You can't smoke. They're trying to make
California
legal now. It's so stupid. But oh, by the way, we're going to get reparations.
I did a stand-up show at a hookah lounge.
Oh God,
2016.
Jesus, they're still around?
Back then they were. It was in Arizona.
Wow.
And everyone was really cool, but it was like I couldn't see anyone.
Were they all like
it was so
beanbag
weird.
chairs?
Yeah, it was a really small little. I don't even want to say it was a hookah lounge, and we did a show there.
You do your show, you'd hear that. That would be the clapping.
No, they're just like staring, like I don't know what's going on. I'm like, you guys are cool. I'm not.
Listening to Cat Stevens albums.
All right, that's my number 2, American Dad.
Number 1. I think we might have the same number 1 show.
We do.
Sopranos.
No.
Oh, what's your number 1?
No, talking about Sopranos.
Oh, I
hold on, let me get really drunk and emotional.
This is a good show.
Dude.
Fucking ZD.
Yeah.
Are you gonna cry now?
You guys are out. You guys are good friends. Like,
just love every minute. I go to hell for you, Tony. I went to hell for you. Yeah, no, I'd say Sopranos is up there. I'd say number 1 for sure. I would say yeah, because I was there at the beginning when it first premiered, 1999. I was in high school. I mean, it was like the big show of the moment because everyone was talking about it. And you'd watch it on HBO Sunday nights, and you're just like, what was that? And you'd watch it, and then, of course, the subsequent seasons, they would take like 2 years off to do the writing, and you're like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, this is ridiculous.
Drugs.
Get over yourself. The show's not art. It just fucking Tony has a problem with New York. He whacks a couple of guys. Here's your season. Go for it.
Yeah.
Like duh. Just go for that.
The problem is that everyone had to take off time to go to rehab after they took all their drugs.
Well, that didn't help. poor Jimmy. And then everybody else. But and I would say Sopranos, one of my favorite shows of all time. Like I said, if you were there in the beginning, it has more resonance. I think if you stumbled upon it now, you're gonna like it. It's a good show. It's just good. But if you saw it when it first came out, there's something about it. It's just like you were in that moment of time. It was like seeing the moon landing. People could say, like, "Oh, I saw the moon landing." Well, you saw Sopranos for the first time. That's kind of what it was. Just the changing of television forever.
Yeah,
and that was it. It has not been the same since. Sopranos is what did it.
I do remember when it came out because we're both avid HBO watchers, always have been, and that was a big show. I didn't like continue to watch it only because TV and that TV time was severely unreliable back then.
Right.
I couldn't sit there and watch it, guaranteed, because sometimes my dad would just be in the living room falling asleep I don't know, you're not touching it.
And no DVR, so we couldn't record this stuff. It was
so you had to watch it live, otherwise you're
watch
so I never got into it.
Yeah.
The only reason I started to watch it when we were in film school was the first time I watched it, like sat down and watched it, because you told me to buy the 2 box sets, and I bought those 2 like foreign ones.
Yeah,
because they're like $5 each.
Yeah,
and I watched the first 2 seasons, or season and a half, I think. Because when I rewatched it officially, last year or this year, earlier this year, and I watched them all the way through, I'm like, that's when I stopped watching. I don't remember this episode.
Right,
it's like early, like halfway through season 2, I want to say.
Yeah,
and I was like, all right, now it sucks because it was like the turning point. I'm like, oh, I'm really starting to enjoy this now.
Right, yeah.
Not that I didn't enjoy it, I just really hate that mom character.
Right, yeah.
I despise her.
And
that's a good number 1.
That is David Chase's mother, so
that's what he had to live with his whole life, and that's what fucked him up as a human being.
I couldn't deal with her for a season.
I knew you my whole life.
Can't fucking imagine dealing with that lady.
Boy, you.
And she's supposed to be the linchpin of the entire series.
Apparently, that's what
she
what
dies.
I heard.
Yeah. This is coming from you.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's
had to change.
I remember that was a big like, oh shit, like they had. I think they had like season 2 and 3 planned with her in it. So
I just realized we did this whole show with the wrong background and stuff. There we go.
No, I don't think it matters.
No, it does to me.
Oh my god, it's so much better.
They're all the same. Next year, we're
so what?
Want to see the backgrounds for next year?
Oh,
every episode.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. What's his name?
That's a good one.
Give him a shout out.
What? Oh, Sean Yeager.
Sean Yeager. Thank you.
With his art.
Yeah, he did a great job. I want to get more exposure on that.
Even though you can't see it because her faces are on it.
Yeah. Well, you see it on the podcast feed if you go to LAWCnews.com.
Oh yeah. We'll post it all over the place on the website.
Here's next week,
or on the Twitter account.
Next week,
on the Twitter,
and the week after.
Wow.
And the week after.
Wow, it's like a 1980s. It looks like a magazine from 1982 talking about records.
This is vodka.
Oingo boingo. Look at that.
You're hit.
Fantastic.
You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed. Oh. Okay.
I wish the
movie
was so low.
So what's your number 1 then? If show?
Sopranos is a really good number 1. I just didn't watch it live, but we're over 45 minutes, so fuck it. My number 1. Funny you mentioned that.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I didn't even think of that as a show. That would have been my number. Yeah. You know what? Oh fuck! I fucked up. MST.
How do you not?
Oh, I didn't even fucking enter my head. Honestly,
I have it tattooed to my arm. It's gonna be my number 1.
I was thinking cable. I was thinking serialized show. Not that. Oh, you're right. It is a show. Fuck, you're right.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm so ashamed of you right now.
I know. I feel so bad.
Where would it be on your actual, like, if you were to legit make your list right now, where would that fall?
That, I mean, honestly, it'd
probably be Simpsons would be number 1. That would probably be number 2.
But yes, Simpsons didn't make your top 5. This is why when I tell you, when we do lists, I'm like, make it. Don't bullshit, because you have these arbitrary rules where
I do.
My number 4B is
yeah. Well, Simpsons was 2A, and I think it works. But yeah, no, I would say MST. Yeah, definitely is a close. It might even be a 1A, a 1B, 1A situation.
You just said
it's on the flip side.
How many lists did you just make in the last minute? Because your official list is Sopranos number 1. Now that you could retcon it, it's MST number 2, Simpsons 1. Therefore, Sopranos is displaced.
Well, I'd be number 3 probably, and then pretty much everything else would be up one more. And like I said, I forgot Batman animated series. I'd put that in the top 10. I mean, seriously. So there's that.
Yeah.
But no, MST. I didn't even think about it. Didn't even enter my head at all.
Wow.
I haven't watched it in a while. I got to watch it again because we used to. Every time I'd go home with, if I'm at my parents' house, my dad will just put on short. We watch a short for just the hell of it.
Shit, we in film school we just sit there and watch it.
Yeah,
and I'd be like every second.
It's such a warm blanket. It's like the greatest thing. Yeah.
And every movie's different. Every movie has their own little side jokes. Everything. It's hour and a half an episode. 10 years of it. We got a movie. What more do you want? And it kept going after that. There's new.
Oh God, and it just and I have specific episodes that are my favorite that I've seen like literally dozens of times.
Yeah, and
I memorize. I could repeat. I think we
one of the go-to lines we have in my family is nothing scares gators. Keep in mind I'm intensely stupid. That from Attack of the Giant Leeches, and then I'm gonna make coffee sandwiches from Attack of the Giant Leech. Like it's so many from that episode. It just when he goes,
it's so quotable.
Only to a I love you more than twice baked. I love you more than twice baked potatoes. Oh God, just such a great show.
Did you ever watch?
Like, yeah, no, I mean,
the episode I keep telling you to watch, Devil Doll.
No, I haven't find it. I gotta look it up because
I'll send it to you after the show.
Yeah, I don't think I have it.
It's on that app.
Look it up.
It's on the app.
Oh, the app. Oh, that's right. I need to get the
app.
They're
all on the app.
Is it free?
Episode. Yeah, free.
Yeah, it's just you download the app, right?
Download the app. You can watch. I just hit play to TV and it plays the episode right there.
Does it really? Off the
television? Amazing. Yeah, all the episodes are free.
Shit. Oh hell, I need to do that.
Oh, I never thought this would exist for free, and I'm like, and they're all like really good quality because they're official. I'm sure they have a couple
probably from Rhino.
I haven't noticed any. The ones you pay for are like the new ones, and I kind of realized I hit a wall where after the Jonah episodes ended with their 2 seasons, they have a whole new thing with a new cast and like all new people, all new hosts, and I'm kind of like, nah, I'm good. Like it's not special to me anymore. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. It's, you know what I mean? Like they have all these different hosts of the show. Like Jonah's wife in real life is doing it, and it's just.
I don't watch the new ones. I can't do it.
Well, you didn't watch
I only liked the original
before the new ones, the Jonah ones, right?
No, anything after 2000, no.
Yeah,
I watched. I watched Riff Tracks. They're funny. I do like Riff Tracks.
Riff Tracks is the same guys I love from the original series.
Oh, well, I
saw
watched
them live
X.
twice.
I was going to tell you this. I watched X finally. That horror movie, Ty West horror movie.
Oh yeah,
it's not bad. It's pretty good. You can see Brittany Snow naked and Mia Goth naked the whole time, which is Brittany Snow. Shit, didn't think that was going to happen, but I guess her career is going downhill. So it was pretty decent, but it reminded me of the MST3K episode, A Touch of Satan, because the old lady kills a bunch of people, and it's basically on a farm. It's like the same setting, and she kills a guy with a pitchfork and everything. So I just kept thinking about Touch of Satan.
Yeah.
MST3K episode during the whole movie. I'm not going, Jim.
My biggest complaint about MST3K is how expensive the box sets are.
Yes.
I don't even want to participate. They're so expensive. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, Amazon has them on sale. Like they just had a sale. They were $21 a piece for like 5. They had 5 separate boxes.
Like,
they were the newer
DVDs
ones.
Still.
They're DVDs. Well, you don't need to up-res it. There's no way. You don't need to up-res it because it's not the quality wouldn't be worth up-resing. You don't need to.
They're not going to digitally remaster them, I guess, but
no, gosh,
I want a uniformity on my, I don't know, whatever.
Oh, your rules.
The case, exactly right. I know I'm being unreasonable. I won't disagree, but yeah, solid top 5.
Okay.
Yeah, sign in free.
Wow, that's crazy.
Let me pull it up here on my phone.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
I told you about this like 5 times.
I know you did. I'm aware. Thank you.
Where's mine?
God damn.
What?
Where's my elephant?
There it is. Okay. Boom. Look at that. Look at that beautiful background.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. But seriously, you just go in there and if it ever fucking loads. So they have this. Go into oh shit, it's different now.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, okay.
You
So
ready to start?
Scroll down a little bit. It says
Watching.
classic MST3K watch for free. And you can season 1, season 2, you see all the seasons there.
Yes, I see that.
Click on season 8, I believe it is. But it'll show you which ones are available. I think they kind of swap them out.
I got season 8.
Season 8, Devil Doll, about halfway down, maybe a little further.
Yeah, there, Devil Doll. I got
Check out Devil Doll. The first half of that movie is some of the funniest jokes, and then the second half you can stop watching. Honestly,
I just added it to my list.
Their jokes kind of fall apart because the movie gets real boring.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh no! So so I can bring this, put it on my TV at my dad's house, and watch it on there. Hopefully.
Yeah, I just throw on the share screen thing on my phone.
Yeah.
Throw it up on the TV, and you can do something else on your phone while you're watching it.
I don't think I can do that though because it's not that new of a TV.
Is it a smart TV?
Yes and no.
Does it accept Wi-Fi? Is really all you need. Or Bluetooth, I guess in this case.
No, it's the old one. It's the 2010 Sony that I had. So it's not,
you can still watch on your phone.
It's not gonna. The Blu-ray player it might connect to, but that's a smart. But it's too old too. I think I could put it on the TV outside because the TV outside is brand new. You put it outside. I don't know. Okay, don't ask. They put the biggest TV outside on the wall.
Do you live at a Buffalo Wild Wings? Why do you have a TV outside?
I don't know. They're gonna put their outdoor kitchen there one of these days. I don't know. But you can't watch it because it's so fucking dark. So I've never seen anything on that screen unless it's like pitch black at night.
You just hear Transporter 2's audio.
Pretty much is it.
I'm gonna get you.
On the Transporter.
I feel like that's the most dad movie ever. Transporter 2.
Yeah, it's up there. He loves
Dads watch the random sequels to action movies.
TNT, TNT was ever on TNT that day. The Mechanic remake is on. I gotta watch that.
More Statham.
Transporter.
Oh, the remake. I forgot they remade that with Statham still alive.
Yeah, Statham's in it, and Ben Foster
Transporter.
and Transporter. Yeah,
right. Transporter.
Yeah, they remade it. They rebooted it with that guy.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, well, it might be a continuation of the saga. I don't know. With a different Transporter.
Exactly. It could be Bourne Legacy thing going on there.
It's so stupid.
With that British vampire-looking dude.
I like how he ended our television show with Jason Statham.
Exactly. Check out Snatch.
Fantastic. Go see all Guy Ritchie's earlier movies.
They have a new show that we should talk about eventually when we watch it. It's on, I believe, Amazon. It's the guys who created Peaky Blinders. It's like a little war show. What is the name of that?
I have no idea.
Hold on. Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders, eh? I'll cut you with me razor blade in your hat because I'm a Peaky Blinder.
Peaky Blinders is fucking solid.
I need to watch
it's called Rogue Heroes.
Okay.
IMDb.
Yeah. Stephen Knight's a good writer, so he does all those shows.
Rogue Heroes.
Celluloid Heroes.
SAS Rogue Heroes. Yeah, here it is. Stephen Knight creator.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the series. SAS Rogue Heroes charts the creation of the famed Special Forces unit based on the book by Ben McIntyre. Sounds like nothing when I describe it, but the plot, I was like, all right, I'm on board with this. And the trailer made it seemed like a Guy Ritchie show, but like a mix between Stephen Knight and Guy Ritchie. Somewhere in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I'm into this.
That'd be interesting.
52 minutes an episode? God damn.
Well, I guess Apple TV has that
it's only
Gary
6
Oldman
episodes.
show where he's like
the Gary Oldman show on Apple TV, but where he's the head of like the MI6, like a special unit. It's supposed to be more of a comedy. And Gary Oldman is so old and he's got a belly.
Is Gary Old Man now?
Oh, he's up there. But he's pretty fat. I don't know if it's prosthetic or not though, because I saw him doing an interview, a new one. He wasn't bloated, but he's pretty funny. That Gary Oldman's fucking funny. He's funny. He's actually. I would love to hang out with Gary Oldman.
Something we were talking about a while ago, I believe it was on this show, how Gary Oldman used to be like this notorious lush, hanging out with all those guys.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are dead now. Like the old British actors before him, those like Oliver Reed and those kind of guys are just like sad. I think he just stopped because he's like, oh shit, it's gonna turn into this. Like Oliver Reed, like that whole gang of people he hung out with are just so sad. Just wasted their careers because they were just, this is all I'm gonna do.
I want drinks. So what? Go to hell. Fuck you.
Yeah, and you watch their roles later in life, and they're just their characters are drunk because the actor's drunk.
We have no choice but to rewrite the characters are drunk.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Dumbledore. Fuck you. You fucking cunt.
It's our version of that in America is Orson Welles. Just became just a bloated.
Yeah, he didn't just drink his way to death. He ate his way.
Yeah. He gorged his
way
way
to
to
death.
That
wore fucking moo-moos. I don't want like a freak. Just give me the moo-moo.
Well, that's exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But it's, it's a guy that started off like so admired and like astonishing how successful and creative he was at such a young age, and just became bloated and just a waste of life.
Well, I wouldn't say waste. He's still working. Like, he made movies. He's still doing it.
But you ask anyone like
why
anyone younger than us, they might say Citizen Kane, but mostly they're going to say that that commercial he does, shit faced.
Parmesan. Oh, the French. No, I got more respect for Orson Welles. I've seen a lot of his later movies. They're pretty good. He's very European, though.
You're a big Orson Welles fan.
I like Orson Welles, so I've seen a lot.
I have nothing against it. I'm just saying people younger
than
us
understand.
Are going to...
Well, people younger than us don't even know who fucking Jodie Foster is. I mean, come on. They don't even know who Martin Scorsese is. They don't know what good movies are. They know TikTok and Instagram videos, and that's it. They're all stupid. You see that video where the guy jumps out of a car and he bounces off the cliff? It was funny. And the cat.
One of my coworkers who just turned 30 asked me, "Did you see that video on TikTok?" I go, "I'm 38.
I'm not a Chinese.
There's 0% chance that was on TikTok."
Yeah, that's why the way China, it's their weapon against us. It's all owned by TikTok. It's all garbage. So it's rotting everybody from the inside out mentally.
Like, I have more of an attention span than 10-second videos.
I like that 10-second video where the girl does the click, click, boom, and she has titties.
And I'll be like, did you see that 3-hour movie where Daniel Plainview is bastard in a basket? You see that movie where nothing really happens for the first 2 hours, and then a bunch of stuff happens
characters
quick?
It's about mankind's decline into evilness. Yeah,
it's about this guy who creates a wall around himself, a wall of isolation, by even the fact that he is terrible to his own son and gets disowned by him. And then all he has left in the world is to beat the shit out of this preacher that he used to make fun of as well, and beat him to death with a bowling pin. We'll talk about milkshakes. Have you seen that? No, it wasn't 12 seconds long, so I guess not.
I like Wizard of Oz.
The flying monkeys are pretty scary.
Flying monkeys are cool. They wouldn't. I was gonna say Judy Garland, but they wouldn't know anybody's names in that movie.
No,
those midgets were funny. They had the lollipops.
They're tiny.
How come there's no more midgets?
Because it's called abortion.
I finally changed the hot dog above you.
People found out that they'd have a midget as a child and they aborted it. That's why we don't have any of those anymore. And Down syndrome kids. You notice there's not a lot of them anymore either. They're all dead. Just like Daniel Plainview's milkshake career.
I drink your milkshake.
I drink it up. You are the afterbirth. Paul Dano plays two characters. Paul Dano plays two parts. These his twin brothers. And the first brother got good, and the second brother tried to get more money out of him. He said, "Fuck you," and murdered him with a bowling pin.
The bowling pin.
Which is, I'm finished. That's the end of the movie. The last line, I'm finished.
That's it.
It's a great movie.
Man, that's the last great year for movies, 2007.
And that's the last great movie for Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
After
I haven't watched Licorice Pizza yet.
I haven't watched Licorice Pizza. Have not watched Inherent Vice.
Inherent Vice is.
I watched the first half and was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I love Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I liked watching him. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'll watch the rest later. Never went back to it.
That part, though.
In Inherent Vice, where he shows the baby after heroin because it was born as a heroin baby. He goes, "Ah!" and he screams because he shows the baby. This is what she looked like when she was born. "Ah!" He screams. That part was funny.
Now I need to watch it.
That part's pretty fucking funny out of nowhere.
What was
like
that?
It's in the middle of the movie, I think, because he's investigating and he goes back to the party with Owen Wilson, and he finds out that Owen Wilson has a kid.
Phantom Thread.
The kid was called something like that. I don't know. I can't remember, but it's something. Yeah. And she shows him a picture of her kid, and he just screams. It's so fucking funny.
Inherent Vice, Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread is
then Licorice Pizza.
Wow, yeah, Phantom Thread I have not watched.
3 movies in a row, have not seen.
Yeah, Phantom Thread, I was bored out of my mind. I couldn't finish it. I was like, what is this?
I'm not a big. I appreciate what he's doing and how hard he works, but I'm not a big fan of him. Really.
Yeah, he's fine. I liked Hard 8.
No, I don't mean Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, Daniel.
No, I love Paul Thomas Anderson. Don't get me wrong.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis is
the other 3-name person.
Well, it's like Daniel Day-Lewis and Christian Bale. Christian Bale wants to be Daniel Day-Lewis, but he's way better. I think he needs to realize that.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis he feels like the Maynard from Tool, where he thinks he's more of an artist than he really is, just to go do the job and shut the fuck up about it. Like, just do it and stop talking about how good you are at doing it. And
do you want to talk about my wine?
All right, let's get out of here. Right?
Good night, everybody.
I'll play it.
Yeah, play it.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, I just.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night.